He's looking very stressed because treats are just there and he's not had any yet. So let's move them to here. And then he'll at least be looking at you. You wait. I'm gonna go get the lid. You just wait there, baby. Wait. 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 Just want to get the lid so that I can close them off at some point so that you don't just keep trying to get treaties. Would you like one to start? Just one? There you go. Okay. Hello, friends. Here we are, trying another new angle for Whiskey Sleep and Cuddle streams. You can see a lot more of him this way. But he is so sad because he is very hungry. Lemons would like me to boop you. Ready? There's a boop coming. Oh, no boop? Come on. Boop. No, he's too serious. He's too serious for a boop. Chris Gilliard's here. Hello, Chris. Say hello, Chris Gilliard. Say hello, Chris Gilliard. Hello. Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so sad and hungry. And it's Bonus. Look, it's twin. It's our twin Bonus. He's my bonus twin. Hi. Oh, and Duncan. Hello, Duncan. Yes, you are so sad. Do you want a kiss? Do you want a kiss on your forehead? Is that what you're doing? Kiss. No, very sad. Oh my goodness. Very sad. The treats are open just next to the computer, and he can't think of a single reason why he's not having all of them. Goodness me. Would you like another? Would you like another? Are you telling everybody that you are very hard done by? I think that you are lying. You go. I don't know if you can hear all his little hummings, his little... Can you hear those? Can you hear the little hums that he does? Crunch. They can just hear crunches. They can't hear you do your little singing. It's very cute though. He goes... Don't you? It's a nice noise. It's a very nice noise. Hello, Beanie. Yeah, little hums from the town. The stream is presented by Crunchorama Sound. The saddest boy in London town he is. He is so sad. He's so sad. Oh, baby, imagine being this sad. Imagine being this sad all the time. So hard. Very difficult. Much crying. Shall we start reading? Shall we start doing some reading? I feel like my oof, terrible, isn't it? My headphones keep on banging against my hoodie, don't they? And it's awful. So this is going to be a real salve. Thanks. Let us begin. Shall we begin? Shall we start? You're so sad. You are so sad. Should we start? Should we start trying to make you not so sad? Are you pretending to show? Oh, little burp. That's a lovely little burpee. Little burpee you just did. Very nice. Very nice little burpee. Hello. Oh, little swallow. How are you, Schaefer Sam? I'm glad to see you. Many Pepsis to you. Say many Pepsis, Schaefer Sam. Many Pepsis. Unto you we wish many Pepsis. Oh, what's happened? What's happened? What's happened? I didn't know that anything happened. Schaefer Sam, my darling, what's happened? Oi boy, did I need this. Normally have D&D tonight, but half an hour into running it. Oh, Schaefer Sam, my darling, I'm so glad that you're here. We are very happy to keep you company and give you something calm to hang out with. Schaefer Sam, would you like to listen to Whiskey Crunch on a little treat? You're on the big telly in Chris's house. Sacre bleu, the big telly. Very impressive. Very impressive and cool on the big telly. Sam would like a crunch. Let's give a big crunch to Sam, because we love Sam. This is the big treaty. Oh, he loves them. He loves them, loves them. They are carrot flavor. He thinks they are the best. But he has such a loud crunch when he eats them. I'm going to take my headphones off so you can hear him. 1 second. There's a crumb there, baby. Baby, there's a crumb here. Baby, crumb there. There. It's there. You're so silly. You can't see it. Look. There's a crumb there. There's the crumb. Oh, good boy. Good boy got the crumbs. Good boy got the crumbs. What the? Okay, here we are. So, what are his treats? Have you ever given him carrot? My friend's dog loves carrot and it makes such a good crunch. Yes, he does like carrot, but he only likes carrot when he thinks it's going to go into my dinner. So he thinks that, Schaefer Sam, you cheered 50 bits for the crunch. Say, thank you so much, Sam. Oh, so sleepy. Thank you so much, Sam. That's very generous of you. Thank you. He only wants carrot when he thinks that it's going to go into my dinner, and he really, really likes it, but he doesn't want it unless he thinks he's taking it from me. He's that kind of bitch. He's very bitchy. Very bitchy. Yeah. So shiny as well. So shiny. So shiny baby. So shiny baby. Shall I rub your eyes? Give your eyes a good rub. Hi rub. Hi rub. We should have a crunch emote. Yes, we should. We should have a crunch emote. Oh, that's a good one. Oh yeah, right the eyeball. Oh yeah, rub your eyeball. Ow. Sleepy, sleepy. Sleepy, sleepy. He's a good boy. He's a very good boy. Should we read some recipes? Yeah. Should we read some recipes? Yeah. Schaefer Sam, would you like to choose the number from which we read the recipe book? Or do you want me to just leave you to do your thing and we can get someone else to choose? But you can choose the number if you want. You could do a number between... I know you don't need special treatment, but this is your first one of Whiskey Streams, isn't it? I normally let somebody who's new to the stream choose the number from the book. If you're new to the stream, you can choose between 47 and 361. I like the number 8. It is like a racetrack. Okay, perfect. Let's go. Number 8. What's on number 8? Number 8. Number 8. Number 8 is a picture, so I'm going to go to 18. It is great. Okay. We have Matar Paneer. This is a steadfast, humble, and delicious vegetarian curry, as served in homes, cafes, and roadside dhabas all over India. It has a rich tomato base, sweet peas, and mild paneer cheese. Indian households generally have their own recipe. The Hindi word for peas is matar, pronounced mutter, which gives rise to the silly joke, what did the peas say to the other? Nothing, they just muttered. That's a good joke. This recipe serves 2 to 4 people, and to make it you will need 300 grams of onion tomato masala, which we can get the recipe for on page 354, 1/4 teaspoon of fine sea salt, 30 grams of tomato puree, 1/3 of a teaspoon of granulated sugar, 1/3 of a teaspoon of garam masala, which we can find the recipe for on page 356, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, 100 grams of frozen peas, and 200 grams of pinear cut into 2 centimeters cubes, and then 75 milliliters of double cream. He's doing this because he wants me to scratch his neck. This is what he contorts himself into so that he can get the pats that he really wants, that he really craves. Bacon Chin, hello, my friend. Oh, thank you so much for dropping 40 little corgi bits. Oh, woo, thank you, Bacon Chin. You're very kind. Oh, yeah, there he is. There he is. Did you almost lie down and then you realized this was business? This is a business stream, no lying down. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. To serve, you'll need coriander leaves chopped and kachumba, which we can make from page 121. Now, to make this recipe, you will need to warm the onion tomato masala, in a medium saucepan over a medium heat. Add the salt, tomato puree, sugar, garam masala, and cumin. Bring to a gentle simmer and cook for 10 minutes. Then you need to add the frozen peas and 120 milliliters of water. Bring back to a gentle simmer and cook for 5 minutes. Add the paneer cubes and stir carefully so that they don't break up. Allow to simmer gently for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. Add the cream, bring to a simmer and take off the heat. Serve garnished with chopped coriander and with a bowl of kachumba on the side. Oh, thank you, Bacon Jim. So noble. Hello, Nuka. Hello, hello. Lovely to see you. This is a Whiskey's Kitchen stream. I don't know if you've seen one of these yet. Were you here last week? I think this is a better setup to last week. Keema Pao. Keema, lamb mince, is well spiced, studded with green peas and usually served with pao, pillowy fresh bread buns. For much mopping. For us, this dish is synonymous with many places in Bombay. Olympia Coffee House and Cafe, Paris on Calabar Causeway, and Radio Restaurant behind Crawford Market, supposedly where the local Muslim gangsters hung out. A good dish of this creamer is guaranteed to transport us back to these places. This dish relies on lamb mince with a decent level of fat. 20% is ideal. There may seem to be a lot of ground coriander, but don't be tempted to use less. Its aromatic, slightly citrusy notes and brightness and depth without being at all overpowering. I don't believe you. Eaten straight away, the keema has a lively freshness to it due to the green paste of mint, coriander, chilies, and spring onions. After a day in the fridge, it has greater depth. Try both and see which you prefer. 4 naan. I'd eat 4 naan. Would you eat 4 naan? Boop. Boop. Whiskey would eat 4 naan. Let me boop you. Let me. No, you will not let me. You will not let me. To make this recipe, you will need 15 grams of fresh root ginger, 25 grams of garlic or 6 to 7 cloves, 20 grams of spring onions, about 2, trimmed, 20 grams of coriander leaves, roughly chopped. What's happening? You've gone very serious. You've gone very serious. Why have you gone so serious? Why have you... Better? Better? Is that better for not being so serious? Some more? Do you want some more? No, you're very serious, Grumpy. Kiss. Kiss. Oh, I can't reach you. Thank you. More? Can't reach. Can't reach. Come here. Come closer. Come here. I've got nothing. I want you to love me without treats. You don't love me without any treats. You only love me when I have food in my hand. Kiss? You're a good boy. Okay, this is for you, but we're going to show everybody what a good boy you are. Such a good boy. Wait. Wait. No. No, excuse me, sir. I want you to wait. Boop. Whiskey needs a mullet. Yeah, he would look great with a mullet. Hello, Melisku. Great to meet you. Thanks so much for being here. Hello. So cute. Typical business boy, just about to crunch. So handsome. Lemons does the same with my sandwiches. Bones has to do this with all of his sandwiches. Do you want to eat that? Are you very hungry? Very hungry for that treat. Starving. Okay. 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 Yes, you're allowed to. Good boy. Goshy gosh. So back to this recipe. You will need 15 grams of fresh root ginger, 25 grams or 6 to 7 cloves of garlic, 20 grams of spring onions, about 2, trimmed, 20 grams of coriander leaves, roughly chopped, 10 grams of mint leaves, roughly chopped, 2 whole green chilies, plus an extra 10 grams of roughly chopped, 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1 onion finely diced, 3 teaspoons of ground coriander, 100 grams of full-fat Greek yogurt, 450 grams of lamb mince, 1 1/4 teaspoons of fine sea salt, 2 bay leaves, 1/3 of a teaspoon of plain flour, 50 grams of frozen peas. Am I right in thinking you two are vegan? Schaefer, Lemons is vegan, Bonus is often vegan, but sometimes has meat. Boop. I got you. I surprised you with a boob. You've moved very far away, darling. Have you decided you don't want any more cuddles? Have you decided you don't want any more? No? That's very sad. Very sad. You're going to be very lonely over there. To serve, you need 3 to 4 white bread buns sliced in half, butter for spreading, a little chopped red onion, a few coriander leaves, and 3 to 4 lime wedges. To make this recipe, you need to grate the ginger and garlic using a microplane or the finest section of your grater into a small bowl and set aside. Are you still being grumpy? Are you still being grumpy, or would you like another cuddle? We can stare at each other all night if you want. Do you want another cuddle? Would you like another cuddle, sir? Or would you like to keep being grumpy? Ooh, you want to keep being grumpy? It's a very lonely path to choose. Very lonely indeed. Why on earth would you choose that path when you can choose cuddles? Chat aren't going to help you. Why don't you come for snugs? Should we be friends? Should we be friends? Could pretend that you love me. Could pretend. Oh, he's not happy at all. He's so grumpy. So grumpy boy, what do you want? Boop. What do you want? Such a grumpy man. Blitz the spring onions, coriander, meat, and 10 grams of chopped green chili together to make a paste, using a blender or mini food processor. Heat the oil in a large saucepan over a medium heat. Add the onion and saute gently for 5 minutes, stirring regularly without browning. Add the grated ginger and garlic and cook for 2 minutes, stirring almost constantly. Add the ground coriander and cook for 2 to 3 minutes. Turn the heat up, stir in the yogurt and saute for 3 minutes, by which point the yogurt should start to separate. Turn the heat back down to medium. Add the lamb mince, salt, and bay leaves and mix well. Saute, stirring regularly until the moisture starts to leave the meat. Then sprinkle the flour over the surface and stir well. This helps to lock in the moisture. Why have you gone so grumpy, sir? Goodness me. Oh, hello, we have lots of friends. Got lots of friends here. Why don't you come back over this way? I will hold this. Then you can pretend that you love me, but really you just love food. Alexis Strum, hello, my sweet friend. Thank you so much for coming along. Today this is a whiskey stream. We're just reading him some recipes and he is being grumpy. He's being a grumpy boy. Games help me forget, say, dog. Dog. That's dog. Strum Raid. Hello, Velocity and Doji. Hello, Meal One. Great to see you, my sweet friend. Fizzy Mint. Hello, hello. Professional Raid. It's Matthias. Hello. Hello, Matthias. It's wonderful to see you. Hi, hi, hi. I feel better for it. Less meat and cheese is all that's... And all that is probably better anyways. Hello, doggy, says Fizzy Mint. Hello, Raiders. Floss Pops. It's Alexis Strom. Hello, I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for coming along. Hello, Laura. How are you? Welcome on in, everyone. Flossie is reading a cookbook to her son, Whiskey. He is a good boy. She will read chat very soon. That is correct. Whiskey is a beautiful boy. Thank you, Mia One. He is very grumpy. Do you want to eat this? Do you want to come back for a cuddle now? Or are you still being grumpy? Goodness me. Hello, Raider friends. Yes, hello, Raider friends. He is so sad. Give him a treat. You are so sad, but you are just pretending. You're just pretending because you know that people will give you food if you pretend to be sad. See how he's looking at you? It's because he knows. He knows that if you feel sorry for him, you will give him treats. I was just curious. I thought you were vegan and wasn't sure if it was something I had heard you mention or if I had made it up because I spend too much time in Bristol. Hi, sir friends. Hello, Agent. It's wonderful to see you. Hello. I'm very glad you're here. Hello. Hello, AJ. Hello, Ron. Wonderful to see you. Wonderful, wonderful. Strum. Hey, doggo. Alexis Strum says hello to you, Whiskey. Boop. Say hello to Alexis. Why are you so stressed? Why are you so silly? So silly boy. So I love you. Love you so much. Oh, a lovely snack, says Wicked Games. Well, to all of our lovely raiders, it's very nice to see you. These are the nighttime streams that we do, normally once a week, but sometimes more if Whiskey is in desperate need of attention. Then during the week we do drawing streams, where we draw celebrity portraits or we draw animals with human hands. But we do lots of different things. But tonight we're reading recipes and trying to get Whiskey to come out of his shell. He's got stage fright in front of all our lovely friends. That's exactly right. I just want everybody to think how handsome you are. But it's okay. Everybody knows that you're handsome. Everybody already thinks you're handsome. Do you want to take your collar off? That normally chills everyone out, doesn't it? Normally chills everyone out. Should we take your collar off? Oh, then you know you're not have to be so business-like. You can just be relaxing. The small work experience person would love Whiskey. I'm sure she would. Do you want to sniff it like a little creep? Why don't you come over here? Why are you so far away? Come on, you're being silly. Come on. Come on now. You're being a silly boy. A nudie noodle. Yeah, that's right, as usual. Nudie noodle. There we go. You're allowed to be shy. Doesn't mean that you should miss out on getting any pats. Can't get any pats from over there. Goodness me. Having a few laptop issues, so not sure when, to be honest. Hopefully soon. Thanks for asking. I feel you on that, Lemons. Yeah, Alexis. Alexis has been plagued with laptop issues. I'm going to guess pale green yellow, the only colour dogs really see. Does Whiskey have a range of harnesses? A fave one? Whiskey has two different harnesses. One of them is a little bit more heavy duty than this one. This one is his everyday harness, and he has to wear it all the time so that when I pop him in bed, I can tie him in like this. Or when he's sitting on my lap, there's something I can hold on to because he's had 3 spinal surgeries because he was attacked by big, big puppies. And they really hurt him. So he had to have 3 spinal surgeries because he was paralyzed. And so he's always got a harness on so that we can tie him into wherever he's sitting so that we know he's safe. Why are you backing away again? Goodness me, you're being so silly. You're being so silly. Would you like me to put the blanket on you and leave you alone? Nah? Do you want the blanket on and to be left alone? Do you? You're being so silky. So silky. Okay, here we go. So put the blanket on you and I'll keep reading. You can just relax, okay? He's a good boy. Heat the oil in a large saucepan over medium heat. Add the onion and saute gently for 5 minutes, stirring regularly without browning. Add the grated ginger and garlic and cook for 2 minutes, stirring almost constantly. Add the ground coriander and cook for 2 to 3 minutes. Turn the heat up, stir in the yogurt and saute for 3 minutes, by which point the yogurt should start to separate. Turn the heat back down to medium. Add the lamb mince, salt and bay leaves and mix well. Saute, stirring regularly until the moisture starts to leave the meat. Then sprinkle the flour over the surface and stir well. This helps to lock in the moisture. Add the green paste. Turn the heat down low and simmer gently for 20 minutes. Add the peas and whole green chilies and simmer over the lowest possible heat for a further 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. When time is up, put the lid on, turn off the heat and allow the keema to stand for 10 minutes before serving. Lightly toast the butter and cut the sides of the bread buns. Divide the keema between 3 or 4 bowls and garnish with the red onion and coriander. Serve with the toasted buns and lime wedges. Sally Botti. This is a first-rate Parsi classic, the best example of which is served in the imitable Britannia & Co. Tender chunks of lamb, or goat if you're in Bombay, are braised in a rich and flavoursome gravy, then finished with chili Sally crisp chips. When served with a hot buttered chapati and a bowl of kachumba, there are fewer more satisfying lunches. Ours is served with handkerchief-thin Rumali roti. This recipe serves 4 to 6 people, and you will need 150 milliliters of vegetable stock, 1 cinnamon stick, 2 bay leaves, 500 grams of red onions diced, 1 kilogram of boneless leg of lamb cut into 3 centimeter pieces, 50 grams of garlic paste, which we can make from a recipe on page 353, 35 grams of ginger paste, which we can make from a recipe on 353, 2 tablespoons of degi merch chili powder, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 2 teaspoons of fine sea salt, a 400-gram tin of chopped tomatoes, 40 milliliters of distilled white wine vinegar or pickling vinegar, 35 grams of jaggery, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, which is a recipe we can find for on page 356, and to serve they need sali, chapatis and kachumba. Whiskey is having none of this. No, he wants more treats. You want more sweeties, don't you? You're like the small work experience person. You just want sweeties. You just want to have some more sweets. Don't you? Just like small work experience. Boop. Do you want to do a very loud crunch? Very, very loud crunch? Boop. Would you like to do a very, very loud one? What do you think? Teddy is very cute, AJ. Teddy is Laura's dog. Teddy is very, very cute. Oh, no more booping. No more booping. Goodness me. He has the most adorable look of righteous indignation on his face. He does, doesn't he? Boop. Got you. Okay, alright, grumpy boy. Alright, grumpy boy. Alright, Whiskey, glad to see this stream has upgraded. Alexa Strum does endorse this stream. Here we go. So Whiskey will not be drawing. Whiskey will be chilling and judging, and I will be giving him pats when he accepts them, giving him treats and reading him recipes to relax him. What are Whiskey's favourite treats? Oh, Whiskey's favourite treats are dried duck breast. You can get dried duck breast like jerky for puppies. He loves them. They are so bougie. His second favourite is really, really stinky dried fish. He loves stinky dried fish. They're his second favourite. So first favourite is dried duck and the second is dried fish. But he really, really likes his dry treats as well that we've got here. The bickies. He really likes his bickies. Crunch, crunch. Hello, Robbie. Nice to see you. Duck is nice, don't blame him. Okay, my husband with kids agrees. Duck is yummy. Boop. I'm going to keep reading, you grumpy boy. Warm a large saucepan or flame-proof casserole dish over a medium-high heat and add the oil. Toss in the cinnamon stick and bay leaves and saute for 1 minute. They should sizzle. Add the red onions and cook until well caramelized but still soft. This will take around 25 minutes and needs to be done over a reasonably high heat, stirring very regularly rather than low and slow. Add the lamb pieces and stir well. Turn the heat down a little and let them cook for 5 minutes so the meat starts to release some moisture. Stir in the garlic and ginger pastes and saute for 45 minutes, being careful not to let the garlic burn. Add a little water if you need to. Add the chili powder, turmeric and salt and cook for 2 minutes. Tip in the chopped tomatoes and cook until they have completely broken down and you can see the oil separate from the sauce. This should take around 15 minutes. If the pan starts to become dry before the tomatoes have completely fallen apart, add a splash of water. Top up with 150 to 200 milliliters of water so that the lamb is just covered and turn the heat down low. Put the lid on at a slight angle so there is a gap to let some heat escape and simmer gently for 1.5 hours or until the lamb is very tender, stirring occasionally. Top up with a little water if the lamb becomes exposed above the level of the liquid, but don't add more than you need to as this will dilute the flavour. Once the lamb is tender, add the vinegar, jaggery and garam masala and cook gently for a final 15 minutes. Serve garnished with a big handful of sali with the bread and kachumba on the side. This salad combines the crunch of seeds with the sweet sour pops of pomegranate and sultanas, with more substantial couscous and chickpeas. Salads aren't commonly eaten in Bombay, where vegetables tend to be cooked in submission before they make it anywhere near your plate. However, this one makes a wonderful light lunch and also works well with a side of the grills, which we can find on pages 263 to 267 and 270 to 279. This serves 6 people as a side, and we will need 40 grams of couscous, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 100 grams of mixed sprouts grains, 20 grams of pumpkin seeds, 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds, 400-gram tin of chickpeas, drained and rinsed, 1 medium tomato, de-seeded and finely diced, 40 grams of raisins, 70 grams of pomegranate seeds, about 1/2 of a pomegranate, a small handful of coriander leaves finely chopped, and flaky sea salt. For the dressing, we will need 1 small ripe avocado, halved, stoned, and peeled, 120 grams at its prepared weight, 80 grams of coriander mint dressing, which we can find on page 378, and 25 milliliters of lime juice. Oh, Cactus is here. Hello, Cactus. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 Barmies. I'll be still here. Thank you, Lemons. Everyone saying hello to everyone. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. this makes this plate of party food seem really shit. Wife's South Indian and even she doesn't cook that weird. Hello, 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 hello. Hey up, hello, Fizzy. Great to see you. Say hello, Fizzy. Hello, Fizzy. Great to see you. Hello. Hello, hello. Do you need another snack? Boop. Are you starving? Are you starving? So hungry. Boop. Starving, so hungry, very starved. Can't relax. Have to chomp. Have to chomp, can't relax. Okay. Still hungry. Oh goodness, imagine. Imagine being still so hungry. Okay. Have you finished that already? Is that already finished? Goodness me. He's already eaten it. He must be very hungry. Must be very hungry. Now you need to put the couscous into a microwave container or a large mug is perfect. Add 60 milliliters of boiling water and the olive oil and microwave on high for 1 minute. Leave to stand for 5 minutes and then fluff up the couscous with a fork. Alternatively, the couscous can be cooked in a small pan over a medium heat. Once forked through, allow the couscous to cool. Can't relax, have to chomp is a big relate. Me too, Sam. Me too. Oh, I just returned to a crunch. I disappeared to get my groceries. I'm glad that we had a crunch ready for you when you came back, Beanie. That look of, are there any more of these, please? He is very hungry. He's never eaten anything before. On a serious note, why does he wear the harness? Just for walks. No, he wears a harness all the time because he's had 3 spinal surgeries because he was paralyzed. He was attacked by a couple of big dogs. And so that means anytime he is somewhere that isn't on the ground or anywhere that he's doing something where I'm not in the room with him, I need to be able to attach him to something so that I know he's not going to fall off and hurt himself. So I know he's not going to run out and try and go down the stairs because he gets very carried away. Very carried away. So he can hear ghosts and he can hear people in the other houses being alive and he is having none of it. Having none of it. Absolutely none of it. Boop. And so he's always got the harness on so that I know he's always safe. It's not ideal, I know. And ideally I would just have lots of pens on the floor for him. But he really likes sitting in bed, and I don't want him to not be able to sit in bed just because I have to worry about him all the time, you know? So that's why he wears a harness. Yeah, he is a poor boy. Boop. He is made of glass. So precious. Very delicate. Oh, poor baby. Do you think maybe you're thirsty? Is that why you're grumpy? Do you want me to get you some water? Do you want me to see if you're thirsty? Maybe you can do a gulp for everyone? Do you think you might be thirsty? Is that why you're grumpy? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let me get some water for you. There's no need for you to perk up when I do this. You can just keep relaxing, okay? I reckon he's going to perk up. You can just keep relaxing. Yes, you good boy. Yes, you good boy. I'm gonna get you some water. In fact, I'm gonna leave you here with the stream and I'm gonna get you some fresh water. Fresh water, so delicious. Boop. I'll be right back, okay? Stay there. Stay there and I'll get you some fresh water. Is he being a good boy? Gosh, let me know. Are you telling lies, Whiskey? You're telling fibs? Did you never get fed? Yet you are so sad. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, I think so. That's it? Have a drink? No more? No more? No more? Okay. Just a small drink. Just a little wet of his whistle. I'm going to put that up there so I don't throw it on the ground. Yes, we want to avoid throwing water on the ground. Oh, impending dog burps. No, he hasn't drunk enough for a baby burp. Hey, Whiskey, now it's just you and us. Tell us all of Flossie's secrets. Whoa, Flossie, that's wild. She really never feeds you? I'm gonna leave the stream now. Love to you and the noodle. Thank you, Heather. Love you heaps. Have a good night. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. He's like, had the drink, where's the treat? That's all it's good for, isn't it? That's all drinks are good for. To bring more treats. Okay, there we go. There is the boy. Oops, that was a horrible sound. Sorry, everyone. He is a cute dog. Thank you, Jacob Monkey 15. He's a sweet boy. The side-eye checking that the audience at home is paying attention to Whiskey is so good. Yes, he very much needs all attention all the time. All the attention all the time. Just to make sure. Just to make sure. Put the sprouted grains into a bowl and pour on boiling water to cover. Tip straight into a sieve to drain and refresh on a running cold water. Shake dry and set to one side. Warm a dry frying pan over a high heat and add the pumpkin seeds. Toast for 2 minutes or until golden. Oh, that's a little burp. Well done. How long have you had Whiskey? Whiskey's birthday is in 2 days, isn't it? Your birthday is in 2 days, and you're going to be 8. It's going to be 8 in 2 days. Just 2. It's going to be 8 years old, and I've had him for his whole life, except for the first 14 weeks. So I've had him his whole life. We've known each other for ages. Yes, I have. Before I got him, he was not very well looked after. He really hadn't been fed very much, and he had a little fractured wrist. Yes, he did. Very sad boy. Very sad boy. Oh my goodness. Yes, you were very sad. Yes, you were. But you are so handsome. You're so handsome and lovely, and I adore you. Even though you are such a little asshole. You're such an asshole. Yes, you are. Asshole. He is Australian, yes. We moved over here together. He and I moved to the UK together just before the pandemic. Just in time, eh? Just in time. Just in time. Warm a dry frying pan over a high heat and add the pumpkin seeds. Toast for 2 minutes or until golden brown, shaking the pan to keep the seeds moving so they don't burn. Add the sesame seeds and toast for a further minute. Remove the pan and set aside. In a large bowl, combine the couscous, chickpeas, diced tomato, sprouted grains, raisins, and pomegranate seeds. Season generously with flaky salt. Just to be clear, I asked if he was Australian because of the time, not because he is an asshole. But you are an asshole. Boop. Let me hold your face. I want to hold your face. Let me hold your lovely face. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much for letting me hold your big face. I thought you'd been here for years. Just 1 year. We've been here for 1 year. 1 and 1/2. Boop. Haven't we? Oh, you're very grumpy. You don't like that at all. But I'm not going to stop doing it because it's very fun. I like doing it, so I'm not going to stop. Boop. I got you, baby. To make the dressing, blitz the ingredients using a blender or mini food processor into a smooth paste. Add the dressing to the bowl along with the chopped coriander and 3/4 of the toasted seeds. Mix well and then taste for seasoning, adding more salt if you wish. Garnish with the remaining toasted seeds. Chili pomelo salad. Hot, tangy, nutty, sweet. Fresh kale gives this salad plenty of bite and vigor, while the red-hot chili adds an addictive heat. Mint for freshness, juicy bursts of pomelo, the sweetness of dates and crunch of pistachios all make it a little more interesting. We serve this 2 ways, as a salad or a side dish to share, as below, or with cooled pulled merg malai, which we can find the recipe for on page 273. It makes an exceptional lunch on a hot day. To serve as a side, we need 20 grams of pistachio nuts, 20 grams of pumpkin seeds, 1 pomelo or large pink grapefruit, 80 grams of kale, thick stalks removed and finely shredded, 3 spring onions, 1 red chili, 6 medjool dates, 10 large mint leaves, a handful of coriander leaves. And for the dressing, we need 3 teaspoons of chili drizzle, which we can find the recipe for on page 358, 1 teaspoon of tamarind chutney, which we can find the recipe for on 377, 20 milliliters of lime juice, and a pinch of flaky sea salt. To make this, we need to crush the pistachios very lightly, using a pestle and mortar. A few gentle smacks should be fine. Warm a dry frying pan over a medium heat and add the pumpkin seeds. Toast for 2 minutes or until golden brown, shaking the pan to keep the seeds moving so they don't burn. Add to the pistachios and set to one side. Cut the top and bottom off the pomelo or pink grapefruit using a small, sharp knife. Cut away the skin and all of the pith and then carefully cut between the membranes to release the segments. Set aside. Wash the kale and spin dry or pat with kitchen paper and place in a large bowl. Thinly slice the spring onions and red chili on the diagonal, discarding the seeds from the chili, and then add them to the bowl. Pull the dates in half with your fingers, discard the stone, and then slice each half into quarters and add to the bowl. If your dates are very sticky, handle them with slightly wet fingers. The water will encourage the fruit not to stick to itself. by the way, sorry if the question asking is distracting from the recipes. Not at all, Sam. You have questions to ask them. That goes for everyone. You're all allowed. I'm firmly behind the attempt. What's happened? What's happened? Oh, Matthew Huss Comedy. Thank you so much, darling. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you for the cheer. You're such a babe. Thank you, thank you. How is he adjusting to London? Does he think the pandemic is just how London is? We both do, actually, Sam. We both do, don't we? Although I still think that the pandemic was partially caused by whiskey, so that he could have this kind of attention all the time. He is quite dramatic, and I wouldn't put it past him. Thank you for coming by, Matt. Very happy to see you. Thank you so much, darling. You're so sweet. You'd be firmly behind the attempt of trying to get Wilson to do this. It would be cute. It would be very cute. He'd be too easily distracted. I'd never get a recipe out this way. Goodbye, hi, cactus. Ingenious. Flossie, I need to navigate away, but this is way too chill for this time of night time for me, so I need to go and do things instead of comfortably snoozing off. Thank you, St. Laub. I'm sorry that we're doing it at the wrong time for you. I love you very much. Have a good day, St. Laub. It's a cunning ploy. It is a cunning ploy, isn't it, baby? Just a cunning ploy. Would you like a little kiss? Yes? Would you like a small kiss? You're feeling very sucky. Your eyes are closing, baby. I think you might be tired. I think you might be grumpy because you are tired. What time is it? It is 8:47. You have been awake for 3 hours now. You've been awake for 3 hours. No wonder you're tired, baby. You must be so sleepy. You must be so sleepy, baby. Would you like a little kiss, or are you too grumpy? Let's see. See if you're too grumpy for kisses. Let's see if you're too grumpy for kisses. What's up? You're very grumpy? Good. More? No, had enough. No more kisses. Oh, grumpy. What do you think? What do you think? Is it awful? Awful? Oh, you hate them. Oh, baby. Grumpy boy. Fine. I will leave you to be grumpy then. You can be grumpy on your own. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for licking my hands. Is he confused because this is normally Sunday? Potentially, Sam. That might be why. Hello, Claire. It's wonderful to see you. Thanks for coming by. Lovely to see you. Say hi, Claire. Oh, hello, Claire. Hello, hello. You can't just have treats all the time because you are a grumpy boy. Or if you are going to pretend like treats are going to make you less grumpy, you've got to at least pretend to be less grumpy after you have a treat. You've got to pretend. You have to at least pretend, baby. Claire says hello. Are you going to say hi? Or are you going to just be grumpy? Oh, goodness me. Boop. Thinly slice the spring onions and red chili on the diagonal, discarding the seeds from the chili, and then add to the bowl. Pull the dates in half with your fingers, discard the stone, and then slice each half into quarters and add to the bowl. If your dates are very sticky, handle them with slightly wet fingers. The water will encourage the fruit not to stick to itself. Tear the mint and coriander leaves into the bowl and add the reserved pomelo or grapefruit slices. Mix the dressing ingredients together in a small bowl to combine. Add 3/4 of the nuts and toasted seeds to the bowl. Pour over the dressing and mix well. You might find it easiest to use your hands to make sure that everything is thoroughly coated. Scatter over the remaining nuts and seeds to serve. Slaw. Pomegranate seeds add a welcome pop of crunch and sweetness to this vibrant slaw. We use a mix of red and white cabbage. There's no real difference in flavour, but it does look rather pleasing. To serve up to 6, you only need half a cabbage, so do feel free to pick your favourite colour rather than buying both. This recipe serves 6, and you'll need 1/2 of a red cabbage and 1/4. Forgive me, 1/2 of a red onion, 1/4 of a red cabbage, 1/4 of a white cabbage, half of a red pepper, 40 grams of pomegranate seeds, just under half of a pomegranate, plus a few to garnish, 8 mint leaves, 25 coriander leaves, plus a few extra to garnish, 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and 3 teaspoons of tomato chili jam, which we can find the recipe for on page 59. You need to slice the red onion into fine half-moon slivers and drop it into a bowl of cold water. Shred the cabbage as finely as you can using either a sharp knife or a mandolin, and place in a large bowl. Don't grate it, as this will make the slaw wet. Slice the red peppers into thin, long matchsticks and add to the bowl, along with 2 tablespoons of pomegranate seeds. Pile the mint leaves on top of one another and then roll up into a tiny cigar shape. Use your knife to thinly slice the cigar, which will create ribbons. Add to the bowl. Gently tear the coriander. Gently tear the coriander leaves into the bowl. Drain the red onions, pat them dry with kitchen paper, and add these to the slaw too. Add the mayonnaise and tomato chili jam and toss well to combine. Serve the slaw garnished with a few pomegranate seeds and coriander leaves. Cachumba. Cachumba is the closest thing we Indians have to a salad. It's a messy to-do of tomato, cucumber, onion, and coriander. The salt helps the vegetables to release all their delicious flavors into the mix, while the lime juice lifts the whole affair. This recipe serves 2. You will need 1/4 of a red onion, 1 large tomato, about 100 grams, 1/3 of a cucumber, a large pinch of fine sea salt, 20 coriander leaves, juice of 1/4 lime. Slice the red onion into fine strips. Place it in a small bowl and cover with cold water. Halve the tomato, remove the discarded seeds, and then slice the flesh into thin strips and place in a large bowl. Slice the cucumber in half lengthways and carefully scoop out the seeds using a teaspoon. Slice the cucumber into thin crescents and add to the tomato. Drain the onion, pat dry with kitchen paper, and add to the tomato and cucumber. Add the salt, mix well, and leave to stand for 5 minutes to allow the juices to mingle. Shred half of the coriander leaves and keep half whole. Add all the coriander to the salad, dress with lime juice, mix well, and serve. This recipe is called Bowl of Greens. This is a delicious light side dish. The char from the grill adds interest to the fresh green vegetables, which get along very well with the flavors of chili and lime. Swap the melted butter for vegetable or coconut oil to make the dish vegan. This recipe serves 4. You will need 300 grams of broccoli, or 1 small head, cut into medium florets, 150 grams of mangetout, 20 grams of butter, melted, 50 grams of baby spinach, 2 tablespoons of lime and chili dressing, and 1 tablespoon of kebab masala, which we can find the recipe for on page 358. To make this recipe, you will need to heat your grill to high and line a wide baking tray with foil. Bring a large pan of lightly salted water to the boil, add the broccoli florets, bring back to the boil and cook for 3 minutes. Remove with a slotted spoon and pat dry with kitchen paper. Add the mangetout to the water, blanch for 1 minute and then remove with a slotted spoon and pat dry. Put the broccoli and mangetout into a bowl, add the melted butter and toss well to coat. Then lay on the prepared baking tray, grill the vegetables until lightly charred, about 5 to 7 minutes, turning once. Put the grilled vegetables into a large bowl, add the baby spinach, lime and chili dressing and the kebab masala, toss well to coat everything in the dressing, and serve immediately. This recipe is called raita. This cooling yogurt dish is a traditional accompaniment that goes well with almost any meal, but especially suits the biryanis, which we can find recipes for on pages 232 to 239, and vegetarian curries from pages 100 to 105. For those who are sensitive to spice, this is a gift from the gods. It's a little tricky to make a small amount of raita, however, it keeps very well in the fridge for a couple of days. This recipe serves 8, and you will need 250 grams of full-fat Greek yogurt, 1/3 of a teaspoon of fine sea salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of caster sugar, 1/4 of a red onion, or 25 grams, finely diced, 40 grams of de-seeded cucumber, very finely diced, 40 grams of de-seeded tomato, diced, 6 coriander sprigs, finely chopped, 8 mint leaves, finely chopped, 2 or 3 pinches of cumin seeds. To make this recipe, you will need to put the yogurt, 50 milliliters of cold water, the salt and sugar into a bowl or large measuring jug and mix nicely. Add the onion, cucumber, tomato and herbs and stir until evenly combined. Cover and leave to stand for at least 20 minutes, ideally for a couple of hours in the fridge, in order to let the flavors infuse into the yogurt. I'm still here, baby, I promise. Not gonna go anywhere. Never, never. Toast the cumin seeds in a hot, dry pan until they crackle. Crush the seeds using a pestle and mortar, and sprinkle on top of the raita just before serving. This section of the recipe book is called Afternoon Refreshments. Ooh, yummy. This is drinks. I love drinks. Yum, yum, yum. Fresh lime soda. This citrus salt soda combination is unbeatable for quenching the thirst on a hot day or for brightening up a rainy one. Fresh lime soda, nice and sweet, to beat the Bombay heat. Feel free to use lemons in place of limes. This recipe serves 1. You will need a large pinch of flaky sea salt, 25 milliliters of lime juice, freshly squeezed, 1 tablespoon of sugar syrup, ice cubes, and 100 milliliters of soda water. To garnish, you will need a lime wedge. But because lemons is here, we should all imagine this recipe made with lemons. Crumble the salt into a tall glass, add the lemon juice and let it sit for a minute. Then add the syrup and stir well. Fill the glass with ice, then add the soda. We recommend you measure the soda to get the perfect salty-sweet balance. Stir and serve immediately, garnished with a lime wedge. For the sugar syrup, you put 200 grams of granulated sugar and 200 milliliters of water into a saucepan over a medium heat and stir until the sugar has fully dissolved. Simmer for 1 minute and then take off the heat and allow to cool. Store in a covered container in the fridge and use within a week. And this method makes about 300 milliliters. Oh, are you waking up again? Crumble the lemons into the glass, add the lemon juice, add lemon syrup, add lemons. Stir. Garnish with lemons. Store in a lemon in the fridge. Next we have salted lassi. You are very determined not to relax today, aren't you, baby? Very determined indeed. Yes. Oh, it's a good one. Lassis are the cool, refreshing yogurt drinks found all over India. Meher Cold Drink House and Parsi Dairy serve the best versions in Bombay. The quantities below are per person. If you're making more than one, scale up and blitz together. Lassis are reasonably thick, so it's best to drink them using a straw. I am literally going to jump in a sandwich. Is it because I'm here? Why does Whiskey not like me? No, it's not you, Sam. Whiskey's much better this week than he was last week. He likes having you here. This recipe serves one, and you will need 135 grams of full-fat Greek yogurt, a large pinch of flaky sea salt, a small pinch of cumin seeds, ice cubes, those are optional, and to garnish you need a mint sprig. Put all of the ingredients into a blender, add 65 milliliters of cold water and blitz until light and frothy. If you prefer a cooler drink, pop in a couple of ice cubes before blending. Pour the lassi into a tall glass, top with a sprig of mint and serve immediately. And here are some variations. For each of the following, omit the salt and cumin seeds. For sweet lassi, blitz the yogurt and water with 50 milliliters of sugar syrup. For mango lassi, blitz the yogurt and water with 70 milliliters of mango puree, fresh or tinned, 20 milliliters of sugar syrup, and a very small pinch of fennel seeds. David Shutter, hello, my darling. It's lovely to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, David Shutter. Hi, hi. Rose and cardamom lassi. Blitz the yogurt and water with 50 milliliters of rose syrup, which we can find the recipe for on page 332, and 1 lightly bashed green cardamom pod. Colada Colunda. A virgin pina colada dressed up for a balmy night out in Bombay with a little chai syrup and coriander. This being a fresh, sweet and citrusy drink, it marries well with lighter dishes such as masala prawns, which we can find a recipe for on page 274, paneer and mango salad, which we can find a recipe for on page 116, or aloo tikki cha, which we can find a recipe for on 183. The addition of rum turns it into a wonderful tipple to share with friends. This quantity will fit comfortably in a standard jug blender. Don't be alarmed when the lime curdles the coconut cream. Hello, baby. You're up again. Barmies, if you think this sounds good, stick around because I am going to read you some of the most delicious alcoholic beverages you've ever heard of in your life. We're going to do this one and then I'm going to flick through to the alcohol section because reading it makes me really happy. You're settling in for that one, aren't you, Noodle? This recipe serves for, you'll need 240 milliliters of pineapple juice from a carton, 140 milliliters of coconut cream, 60 milliliters of lime juice, freshly squeezed, 60 milliliters of chai syrup, 24 coriander leaves, and ice cubes. To garnish, you need a few dried coconut flakes and lime slices, but those are optional. You need to put the pineapple juice, coconut cream, lime juice, chai syrup, and coriander into your blender and pulse a few times to mix well. Note that if the coconut cream has separated, it will need to be poured into another vessel and stirred well to recombine before adding to the mix. Add the same volume of ice as liquid in the blender. Blitz for 2 minutes or until completely smooth. Pour straight into a tall glass and garnish with coconut flakes and a slice of lime if you like. Note, to turn this into a cocktail, add 100 milliliters of Santa Teresa or other white rum and a splash of dark rum if you like, with the pineapple juice and coconut cream. Chai syrup. To make this, first grind 10 cardamom pods, 8 grams of cinnamon sticks, 4 cloves, and 1/2 nutmeg. Grate it into a coarse powder using a pestle and mortar or spice grinder, but be careful not to grind too finely. Add 6 grams of chopped fresh root ginger and bash into a very coarse paste. Put 750 grams of granulated sugar into a bowl. That is a lot of granulated sugar. And add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste or 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Add the ginger spice paste and work everything together with your fingers. Cover with cling film and leave in a dry place overnight. Pour 400 milliliters of hot water, cooled for 2 minutes after boiling, over the mixture and stir well. Cover and leave to dissolve for 3 to 4 hours, stirring every now and then, or you can leave it overnight if that's easier. Strain through muslin and pour into a sterilized bottle or jar. It will keep in a store cupboard for 3 months. Chai syrup can also be used to pep up tea, coffee, and milkshakes, and this recipe makes 750 milliliters. So let's go and have a look at some delicious drinks. Tipples, here we are. This is my favourite section of this book. It's absolutely gorgeous. Ice, or rather dilution, is one of the most important ingredients in cocktails. When you shake a drink with ice, you're not just mixing the ingredients together and making them cold, you are diluting them. Certain flavours or aromas will only be detected at a lower alcohol percentage, so a little dilution is key. With ice, more is always more. When you're shaking or serving a drink, use as much ice as is sensibly possible. The more ice you use, the colder the drink, and the more controlled the dilution process, whereas 1 or 2 ice cubes will melt very quickly. It is best to use large, solid cubes to slow down and control the dilution of a drink. Avoid ice with a hollow divot in the center, as this melts very quickly. When squeezing citrus, a Mexican elbow can be very useful. Just don't be tempted to squeeze it too hard, as this will release the citrus oils within the skin, which alters the character of the drink, owing to their strong aroma and bitterness. Someone just went past the house at a skateboard, that's why he perked up. Bum staying put. I am very tentatively learning to make cocktails, and why so often cannot be bothered. It is nice when I do. Exactly, Sam. I agree. Absolutely, unlike keeping a well-stocked bar and doing garnishes, etc., but it can be very rewarding. I don't want to interrupt, so it's very quiet. Hello, shh, hello now, Quinn. It's wonderful to see you. I have one of those antique glow bars, and after the festive season is slightly depleted. Sure is. Our first recipe is for, I'm going to find my very favourite one. It's a lot of work, but I really want to do this one day. Listen to me turn the pages. The Commander. The Parsi naval commander, Kawas Navandi, was a very dashing gentleman. When his beautiful English wife Sylvia confessed in 1959 that she was having a torrid affair, Nanavati sped over to her Cindy's lover apartment on the Nepean Sea Road and shot him 3 times. The commander then gave himself up to be arrested at the naval base. The subsequent case became India's most famous murder trial, not least due to the commander's good looks. Apparently Bombay's women thronged the public gallery for the duration of the trial, dressed in their finest clothes and hoping to get a glimpse of him. In this drink, we'd like to think that the Navy gin represents the cuckolded commander and the Carmen Sons, a London aperitif distilled from aromatics including ginseng, apple fruit peel, juniper, his English wife Sylvia. The absinthe is a naughty spirit, the other man, and the pepper is the gunpowder. This is a strong, dry drink for sipping, a real palate livener. Don't have too many. Keep it in the freezer and serve it so cold that the liquid turns syrupy. This recipe makes a 70 milliliter bottle. You will need 10 grams of black peppercorns, 345 milliliters of Navy strength gin, 1 1/4 teaspoon of absinthe, and 110 milliliters of Carmen Sons. You'll need to roughly crack the black peppercorns using a pestle and mortar. They should be nicely broken up, but not ground into a powder. Place a sieve over a large measuring jug or bowl and line with a double layer of muslin. Put the bashed peppercorns in the center, then very slowly, in a thin trickle, pour the gin through them. The gin should take on a faint brown tint and have a very pleasing warmth to it, without being too peppery. If the gin hasn't picked up much flavor, simply pour it through the pepper again, and if it's too strong, dilute with a little extra gin. If you add extra gin, only use 345 milliliters to match the batch. Discard the peppercorns. Pour the peppery gin into a measuring jug and let it settle for 10 minutes. While the gin is settling, pour the absinthe into a 70 milliliter bottle. Ideally, use the Navy gin bottle, then you won't need to sterilize it. Put the lid on and turn the bottle over a few times to thoroughly coat the inside of the bottle. Take the lid off and slowly pour the gin in, being careful not to pour in the pepper sediment at the bottom. Add the Carmen Sons and 250 milliliters of water. Finally seal with the lid. Invert a few times to mix well and chill thoroughly in the freezer. Serve small measures, extremely chilled, with no extra ice. Bombay Presidency Punch. We use green Darjeeling teal, brewed with reasonably strong, along with the bay leaves. This can be tricky tea to find, but first flush Darjeeling is a fine substitute. This recipe serves 4 to 6 people. You will need 400 milliliters of cold Darjeeling green tea, brewed with 4 dried bay leaves, and the bay leaves retained. You'll need 300 milliliters of Ceylon Arak, 100 milliliters of Jaggery Reduction, 150 milliliters of lime juice, 1 lime, bay leaves, and lots of ice cubes, and nutmeg for grounding. I'm going to go back to, let's find one. Shall we find one that is rum-based? Let's find one that is based on rum. I know we've got some friends in the chat who like rum. So let's see what we can see. This one is gin. This one is rum. This one is punch. Punch that has rum in it. Viceroy's Old Fashioned. Yum. Okay. A strong, smooth, old fashioned. Obviously, this isn't rum. This is whiskey. A strong and smooth, old fashioned, well rounded by a month in the bottle. This is what I want to make. Treat it as you would any good whiskey. Drink it neat or on the rocks. If the latter, use plenty of ice so that it dilutes much more slowly. We'd like to think that Dickie Mountbatten would have found much needed repose in this drink. There are 2 aging stages to this drink. The first and longest is to marry the whiskey with a dark, thick green tea and brown sugar reduction. The longer you age at this stage, the bigger the flavour will be. We recommend a month, though we've left it as long as a couple of years, and it only improves with time. The second stage comes after the addition of water, which allows the drink to round and soften a little. For this you need at least a day, and the longer the drink is left in this finished state, the softer it becomes. This makes a 70 milliliter bottle. For the reduction, you need 2 green tea bags. You need 220 grams of dark brown sugar. You need 8 dried bay leaves. And to finish, you need 460 milliliters of dry, spicy bourbon, such as Woodford Reserve or rye whiskey. You need 1 teaspoon of Angostura orange bitters and 115 milliliters of filtered water. For the reduction, put the tea bags into a measuring jug and pour on 200 milliliters of boiling water. Stir, then leave to infuse for 5 minutes to make a strong tea. Put the sugar and bay leaves into a small, heavy-based stainless steel saucepan or other heavy pan with a pale interior. Give the tea bags a squeeze and then dispose of them. Pour the green tea into the pan and stir well. Place over a low heat and heat gently until the sugar has dissolved. Then turn the heat up. Allow to bubble and reduce to a thick, dark brown caramel. This should take around 10 minutes. To test whether it is ready, drop a tiny amount onto an ice cube. It should thicken at once to the consistency of black treacle. If it sets completely, you've gone too far and need to incorporate a little water. It will steam and bubble, so let it cool a little first. When the caramel reduction is ready, discard the bay leaves and allow to cool. It doesn't need to be completely cold, but it should be left for at least 30 minutes. Pour the whiskey into a large jug or bowl and then add 115 milliliters of the green tea reduction. Stir well to combine. Then pour into a sterilized bottle. Better still, empty the whiskey bottle and use that. Leave it in a cool, dark place for at least 1 month. When the month is up, slowly invert the bottles several times to mix well. Add the bitters and filtered water. This should more or less fill a 70 milliliter bottle to the top, and let it stand for at least 24 hours to soften a little before drinking. Oh, delicious. Yum, 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 yum. What's everyone been saying? He had closed his eyes, yes. You had closed your eyes, hadn't you? Let's keep reading, my baby. Let's keep reading, my sweet darling. We've got 20% battery left, but we can do a couple more, I'm sure. Would you like to keep reading recipes of booze? Or shall we go back to food? Hmm. Let's see. This is a recipe for an East India gimlet. The original gimlet was devised to prevent scurvy, when sailors, anxious to avoid death, took to mixing lime cordial with their gin. Oh, hello, baby. Do you want some attention? Do you want some attention, do you? Oh, hello, sweetie pie. Hello, baby. What do you need? What do you need, my sweet friend? What do you need, sweetie pie? They created one of the earliest cocktails. Our version adds fresh lime and dill with a dash of celery bitters. The cordial must be roses, accept no imitations. Ensure that your dill is fresh. Anything slightly alien will ruin the flavour of your drink. This gimlet will go with almost any recipe in this book, but be warned, there's a hefty measure of gin contained with every easy drinking tipple. Book. This recipe serves 1. You will need 1 lime wedge, a small sprig of dill plus an extra sprig to garnish, 40 milliliters of Rose's lime cordial, 2 dashes of celery bitters, and 40 milliliters of London dry gin, and ice cubes. You need to squeeze the lime wedge into your cocktail shaker and discard the spent skin. Place the sprig of dill on one palm and give it a short, sharp slap with the other hand. This helps to release the oils. Add to the cocktail shaker. Add the lime cordial, celery bitters, and gin. Top up with lots of ice and shake vigorously for at least 30 seconds. Taste the drink. It should be sour, sweet, fairly strong, and very refreshing. Strain into a coupe or martini glass and carefully balance a small sprig of dill on the inside of the glass. A monsoon martini. This drink takes its name from the monsooned Malabar coffee that we have served at Dishoom. It has a brilliantly strong, sour, and bitter flavor, perfect for an espresso martini. Anchoriz is a Mexican tequila-like liqueur infused with wonderfully smoky ancho chilies. It's a fantastic addition to margaritas and palomas, and in this drink it provides a beautiful, smoky warmth. The walnut bitters are essential. Their drying complexity is what really marinates the coffee with the chili heat. The honey will produce a luxurious foam. This recipe serves 1. You need 1/2 of a teaspoon of set honey, 30 milliliters of cold espresso, 25 milliliters of Black Cow vodka or other good quality smooth vodka, 15 milliliters of Ancho Rios liqueur, 4 dashes of Fee Brothers Black Walnut Bitters, and ice cubes. To garnish, you will need a tiny dusting of cocoa powder and 1 roasted coffee bean, but that's optional. To make this drink, you need to mix the honey with 2 teaspoons of boiling water, tip into your cocktail shaker. Add the espresso, vodka, liqueur, and walnut bitters. Top up with lots of ice and shake vigorously for at least 30 seconds. Strain into a martini glass, dust with the faintest drift of sifted cocoa. Garnish with a roasted coffee bean, if you have one, and serve immediately. Agi says, I miss Dishoom so much. I've never been, Agu. I wanted to go so much and then lockdown happened. But once we get out the other side of lockdown, Agu, do you want to come to London and we can go to Dishoom? You can bring your lady friend, and my partner might come down from up north. We could all go. Cactus, would you also like to come to Dishoom? And Lemons? And Bonus? And Sam, you can come to Dishoom as well. I've always wanted to go too. We can all go. And Ron, if you want to come all the way from Wigan, you can come to Dishoom. I like sloe gin. I've always been more with rums and whiskies though, so I tend to float towards those. Always up for some gin-related recommendations though. I miss going to Mackie Mare for the tacos. I have never been a gin girl, but I learned it is tonic I don't actually like, so I have it with lemonade now, and my fave gin is Parma Violet flavoured. I like parties. This sounds like a party. David, shut up. Please come to the party. Yes, please. Yes, Squirrel, I'd love for you to come. Yeah. Hello, Nuka. Welcome back to the waking world. Of course there will be Pepsi, Ron. There'll be Pepsi with every bite of dinner. My darling friends, my laptop has almost completely run out of battery, so that means I simply must go. I've had a lovely time. I'm sorry that whiskey wasn't that relaxed tonight, but we will try again. If you've all had a nice time, I can maybe do these more often if you actually like them. Thank you for subscribing, Fiery Squirrel. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. I'm very, very glad to have you here. I think that I have enough battery left to give him one more treat, and I think that he has very much deserved it. So would you like to shall we go out on a crunch? We can go out on a crunch. Thank you so much, Nile Quinn. I love these streams, they make me so relaxed. Oh, wonderful, Shatter. If you love them, I will do them more often. Absolutely. Okay, let's give him one more treat, and then we will simply have to go. But I'll see if there's anybody that we would like to raid. We could go and see K-Suds. It will be a bit of a change of pace, so everybody should try and wake up a little bit while we're getting the crunch so that it's not a big shock. Okay, you ready? Let's give him another treat. Bye. Okay. Crumbs, crumbs. In here. In here. Excuse me, sir. You need to clean up after yourself. Thank you. Just here. And here. There. There's crumbs. Hey, this is crumb. This is crumb. This is crumb. Sir, excuse me. Excuse me, sir. This is crumb. This is crumb. Eat this. And this one. This is crumb. You are such a little shitbag. Eat this. Eat it. Good boy. He's such a little shitbag. Fussy, the poker chip is so fidgetable. I'm so glad you like it, Nuka. Does that mean you're not going to make a frame for it because you want to have it with you to play with? Hello, baby. Say thank you to everyone. Say thank you very much for feeding me so many treats. Say thank you, thank you. Now I'm going to do this. I'll try not to get him out of the screen. / oops. Oh, / RAID space KASUDS. There we go. Everybody, it's been so nice to spend time with you. I love you very, very much. Very much. I'm glad this isn't a morning stream where I'd never make it out of bed. So relaxing. I'm really glad you've had a nice time. I love you all. And we're leaving just in time for Whiskey to fall asleep, which is perfect. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. I love you all so much. Big kiss. Big, big, big kiss. Mwah. Bye, friends. See you. Bye.